Can I go ahead?
Welcome, everyone, to our webinar. This is the webinar organized by the Institute of ICT Professionals. And today's webinar is organized in collaboration with Npontu Technologies Limited. Our resource person today is Dr. Stefan Noelle. He'll be taking us through how to create USSD codes with just a click of a button. Dr. Stefan is an adjunct lecturer at the Ashesi University and also the CEO of Npontu Technologies. Dr. Stefan, you are welcome, and please take over. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so thanks for the opportunity. So for the presentation, Deborah Asma, our Chief Marketing and Operations Officer, will be responsible for the whole demonstration. So it's a baby, so I wanted to take over from this. So Ms. Deborah, we welcome you for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Well, I've not introduced myself. My name is Deywuro, the Executive Director of Institute of ICT Professionals, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Welcome everyone to today's webinar. As you saw on the poster that we shared between Npontu and the Institute, we are going to be showing you how to create your own USSD on our Darrow, upgraded Darrow. And there are other features that I would highlight in the presentation, but the focus is to show you how you can get your USSD done by yourself. So I have my colleague Deborah here who will be walking through the presentation with us as we go ahead and speak. Before Deborah goes into the login page, let me use the opportunity to tell you what Npontu does. As the name suggests, Npontu Technologies. So we are a technology company. There are three main areas that our services sit under. It is the AI and big data. We have our software development side as well, and we have our value-added service. The presentation we are going to do today on Darrow will feed into all these three areas. So the Darrow is the software application side. The dynamic USSD is an example of a value-added service that we provide. The integration of our AI engine to give you sentiments once you do your post is under our AI side as well. So in summary, that is what Npontu does. Just for another brief insight, one of the recent projects that we have launched is with one of the biggest banks in Ghana. So under the platform side, we created for them a wallet system that allows not just the bank's customers, but individuals as well to send money on the various networks. Then aside to that, we integrated our AI engine to kind of bring out fraudulent transactions or fraudulent registrations, since the agents are paid on the number of registrations they have done. We also integrated our SMS notifications to allow them to receive their PINs and statements of transactions made. So basically in the company, when we are providing our solutions to the customer, we use these three main umbrellas that I have just mentioned. So we can go straight to the presentation for today. Deborah has already logged into the system. What you see here is the dashboard for our Darrow. When you go type in Darrow right now at the Npontu site, you are not going to be seeing the same interface. This Darrow is going to be outdoored on Friday. So I guess you are the privileged few to have seen the Darrow before it actually comes up. So what you have now is the dashboard. We are going to go straight to the USSD tab on the menu. Now, let me just not assume that we all know what USSD is. So an example of a USSD is when, if you're on MTN, you do a *170# and you see a lot of menu items under it, you select it and you go through your process. For most businesses, they are familiar with having used a USSD through a content provider or a value-added service provider like ourselves. So what they would do is they would engage the content provider, tell the content provider that they want to run a service on such a code like what MTN has. The content provider would go in-house and get his engineering team or whoever is on his team to build the product, and then they send it to their customers. What we have tried to do which is in line with the vision and mission of Npontu, is to provide the most convenience that we can for our customers in their operational activities when it comes to their business and services. So what we did in-house is to create the infrastructure that you come to Darrow, and all you are doing is selecting a code, and then you are just stating like what you would have given to the content provider, the list of activities that you might have wanted your USSD to do. It means that we are not necessarily cutting out middlemen, but we are trying to provide you with speed and convenience in your activities. So let's assume that you wanted to do a survey. Let's assume your company has launched a new product, or even with the webinar we are doing today, you want to do a survey to see how people are feeling about the webinar, whether they are joining us or not. You would go to the menu tab like what Deywuro did, and you would create your welcome message. Your welcome message is like the subject of the USSD survey that you are creating. So Deywuro is saying, welcome to the webinar, which is overdue. I think we should have did, are you enjoying the webinar? But we can take the welcome to the webinar. Currently, we auto-generate the code for you. But what would also we would enable is for you to select your code. The problem with that is if we have a lot of people who are on the system, they might have selected the code that you would choose, just like when you are selected a username for an email. So if you select a code that is already being used, then you might have to fall on our suggested codes to go ahead with your broadcast. So we are doing a survey. At the service type, we have selected survey. There are other modules under the service type. Deywuro, I think you're running faster than me. But there are other modules under the service type. It could have been payments, assuming you wanted to collect revenue. It could have been sales, if you want to sell an item. But today's presentation, we are just doing a survey. So, David, I should have asked if people can interject when I'm doing my presentation, just so I know I still have everyone following.
So what we'll do is you present up to a point, and then you can pause and people can ask questions, and then you can move on, so that we will not get people just interjecting.
Okay, that's fine. So right. Yeah, we can do that. So let's assume that there's anybody with the health ministry or with the information sector with us, and you wanted to get what people are saying about the COVID-19 and all that. You could have come to Darrow, do a survey just for COVID-19 and see the kind of responses that they were doing. But like I said, we are going to stick to the webinar. So we are saying, are you enjoying the webinar? We are going to do a multiple choice kind of question and answer. So we're going to put in a yes and a no, and maybe add a maybe. It depends on what you're feeling like. If you are trying to get a biased kind of survey, you probably just give people a yes and a maybe and not put in the no. But let's be as transparent as possible. So we've created our yes, we've created our no, we've added our maybe. We are done with creating our USSD code. Again, you are not limited to just these three things. It's dependent on you and what you want to achieve for your survey. You can even ask for comments, right? Like what's your name for the person who is responding. You can ask people to give their own suggestions or recommendations as to what we could have done to make the webinar better. On the right side of the screen, you will see the phone display. That is supposed to give you an idea of how your questions will look when somebody dials the USSD code. We can move on from here and then now push our code up. Let me just put it out there for those of us who are following MTN and have seen their posts for today. They have mentioned that they are having some network issues due to multiple cyber cuts. So just in case you try dialing the code and you are on MTN and you get a negative response, you can try again to see if it would work. But all the other networks are fine, and you can go ahead to do the test. So let me just emphasize this. The USSD code gives you access to all the networks. We have done integrations with all the networks. It's not just MTN. We have Eteltigo, we have Vodafone. So that is that. We have our code ready. It's *899 *2341#. *899 *2341#. What you see here are several menu items to the USSD code we just created. Deborah has entered the dashboard for you to see the responses that are coming in from the USSD. So if you have done the USSD, if there are multiple people, so if your company has posted the USSD out there, you can now have people just go ahead and respond to it. There are various ways that people would choose to share their code. On Darrow, you can go to SMS, right? Put in your message and introduce your audience to the USSD code. You can go to the social media, post to the social media the USSD code as well for people to respond to it. So for the purpose of this test, let's go to the social media page. We've moved to the menu tab on social media. You would, because this is my account, I have integrated my Facebook, my Instagram, my LinkedIn, and Twitter to the page. Whatever account that you have, before you go through the process of pushing to the social media pages, you would have to set up your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, and your Twitter. Like I mentioned, our objective is to provide you with convenience. So Darrow is supposed to give you a one-stop shop for you to do all your customer engagement. So we are going to post our USSD code that we just created to Facebook. Or Deborah, what do you think?
I think we should post it
to all the pages?
All the pages.
Okay, let's post to all the pages then. So with this, when you're pushing to the social media pages, you select the pages that you want to post to. So assuming we were pushing to Facebook, we would select Facebook, we'll select Instagram, we'll select LinkedIn, and then you can push to all of them. You can also select an image to go along with your post, right? If you have like an image that for the webinar, we wanted to know about the webinar, we could use the image from the webinar and attach it to the message that we are sending out there for us to be able to do our post to the pages. What we have also done that makes this different from the other things you have with other social media sites like Hootsuite and the likes is we have integrated our AI engine to Darrow. So if I push to Facebook, if I push to Instagram, if I push to Twitter, what is going to happen is you would have a dashboard that gives you the comments, the likes, and basically the emotions that people have of the post that we have pushed out. That is the difference that Darrow gives you over Hootsuite and the other social media platforms that we have. So, Deborah, what platform are you selecting? Is that all?
Yeah, so push to LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. Yeah. And how about we throw in an image?
Yeah, let's put in the image for the post we done.
So we have the jolly. So we have that.
Okay, like I mentioned before, you are the privileged few who've been able to see the baby before it becomes outdoored. So we are going to put up our image, which introduces the new Darrow on Friday. And then let's put in our
text. So for our text, let's see. How about we interact with our audience? So what was our code again?
What was the code? I absolutely forgot. *899 *2341.
Okay. Okay, so for the purposes of Facebook, you might have multiple accounts on the Facebook that you would want to post to. But currently, we have one that we can work with. So we use Npontu, which is our own post. So we submit with our picture. And then now the system posts to all your social media handles.
You can see on the right-hand side of the screen that the post, before the post went out, the post had been mimicked for the various social media pages. So it had the message there for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and for Twitter.
Okay, yes.
So this means that your post has gone out. If anyone is following Npontu, you will see this post there. You can just access Npontu's Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter pages on your phone right now. You will see that the post has gone out.
Yes.
Do we have our LinkedIn opened here?
Okay,
so we'll
let me see. So I have
Facebook.
my Facebook open. Let me log in. I'm following Npontu.
Yeah.
So
please follow Npontu so you can have an experience of the post we just did.
So I've logged into my Facebook now. Let's see if we see our posts out there. So let me open the other pages as well whilst I open Facebook. So
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay, let me see if I have my LinkedIn app. Yes, I have my LinkedIn.
Sorry, it's all about our internet speed today. Since we are on our MTN fiber broadband.
Okay, we have one person. I'm seeing the post on Twitter. So Solomon tells us he sees the post on Twitter.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I guess Solomon, you've had an experience of how it looks on Twitter.
Anybody who sees it on the other pages can also share with us what they are seeing out there. Okay. You can take an image and share with us.
Okay, but basically it's instant. It's real time. So as soon as you put the post out, it's real time, and that you can see it. It means that immediately you put the post out, people can start engaging on your post. Right, so if you are not sure of the content you're putting out there, you're not sure of the survey, you might want to take your time to look at it again before you push it out there, or you would have to go to your social media page and delete the post that you have put out. So,
okay, how about we talk about the email whilst we wait for our analysis on our post? How about that?
Don't you want to see the votes that have come in?
Okay.
Let's see if anybody has voted.
Okay, so we'll go back to our USSD service. And then, we have another person giving us a chat. Oh, yeah. So somebody also confirmed they've seen the post.
I thought it was more of the USSD stuff. Did I miss this?
Oh, let me go back to the USSD just for you.
No, I think the person is from his phone and he's surprised that we've been able to post on the social media page. So let's go to our report and see the
USSD.
Votes on the USSD.
Okay. Oh, we have 31 people actually voting.
Great. So what is happening here is, from your own experiences, what you might have done in the past was when you engage a content provider, they might create a dashboard for you, or at the end of the day, they'll be sending you your report as to the engagement on the post. It's the same thing that we have mimicked on Darrow. So if anybody is posting, you are able to see it happen. You are able to see the number of people that are engaging with your USSD code. You are also able to see the comments that the people are making. You realize that from our USSD code, we asked for suggestions. So at the report side, you would be able to see if anybody has given you any suggestions to the USSD questions that we asked. You would also be able to see if there were other questions where you wanted people to identify the products that you were doing their survey on. You would be able to see that. So let's assume with Npontu, if I'm doing a survey that is asking customers how they feel about our product, I might have asked the customer to tell me which product it was, and then the customer will type it in. You would be able to see all this on the dashboard as well. So now we are done with creating our USSD. We've also been able to post the USSD on the social media page. Now let's look at the sweetness in the Darrow, and that is with Slowly, our AI engine. Like I said, there is a differentiating factor between what we have in our social media post with the others in the market, and that is the AI that we have created onto the post, right? Now, with the comments that are coming in, your USSD asks for people to say yes, to say a no, and to give their suggestions. You have pushed on your Facebook, you have pushed on your LinkedIn, you have pushed on your Twitter. People might want to give comments beyond that which is stated on your USSD. They might want to go further to say that I have engaged with your brand before and I did not like it at all how your brand responded to me. So you might want to do a better service. They might also want to go further to say that, yeah, I like your USSD, but the products that you're asking the questions on are not products that are germane to my experiences with your company. People can say a lot of stuff. What Snowly does for you is to analyze the sentiments of the people to the post. So the sentiments refer to whether they liked your post, whether they did not like your post, whether they have responded with negative comments or they've not responded to negative comments. So this is the sentiment analysis that we have done on the post on our page. You would see the total number of engagers we have so far. We were looking at male distribution to female distribution. It's giving you the sentiments in 3 categories: positive, negative, or neutral. You might have those people whose comments are neither positive, neither is it negative. So it's giving you the thing as positive, negative, or neutral. It also states the content type as in the areas where we did the post. Now, you look, you guys, this is awesome. Let me say so myself. It's supposed to give you a good brand analysis of your product, of your service. It's supposed to help you with your NPS score. So if you are a bank that does a lot of NPS score, if you are a company that you are on top of your NPS score, this helps you know what people are saying about you. You don't need to wait at the end of the month to be able to do this. You have created your survey, you have posted it on social media. Now you know what people's comments, what people's feelings towards your brand is. If you want to increase the engagement level on your survey, we did the SMS, we did the social media. You might want to do the email as well. You might have an audience list or a customer group that you want the survey to specifically go to, right? You would have already created your audience list on Darrow. You would have created your template, okay? And you would have created your message on the template. Our template offers you 2 types. You can have the image where you have a picture. Can you pull up a picture that can show an example? A picture where you have put your content. So if you take this image, we have put all our information in the image. So you could have created your own template and put your USSD message in the image and uploaded that to your audience list. You might also want to do a footer and a header, right? Where you have the image up there and then a footer also at the bottom of your email content. We have an example we can show.
Yeah, we do.
A template with a footer and a header. You can decide that if the image doesn't work for you, you want to use a footer and header. This is an example. So our image is our header. We have the content in the image body, which could have been the try out our USSD survey code, etc., etc. Then we have our footer, which is our Darrow image again. So it's up to you completely which option you would want to go for. You select the audience list that you want the email to go to with your USSD code and the instructions on it. Share it to your audience. All we want to offer you is multiple engagement platform using one system. So you've done your social media, you've done your SMS, now you are doing your email. And let's remember, all these feedback goes to the dashboard that we showed you earlier. Anyone responding from whichever engagement platform or tool you use would go to the dashboard that we showed you, and you would see the sentiment, you see the total number of engagement, you see everything on the same dashboard. Yeah, I think I've been able to go through everything. How long did it take me? But David.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, so this is Darrow 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, adore it.
Fantastic.
We have tried to use the USSD example to show you our sentiment analysis, which has our AI integrated, to show you our email campaign and broadcast, to show you our SMSs. Basically, what we are saying is that the USSD, which is core to our introduction today, is only another module on our Darrow. You can use all these platforms to engage your audience, to engage your customer just on Darrow. Thank you.
This is nice. This is really nice. We have about 30% of our audience here, participants here, that did not join us before you started. So let me give the opportunity to those who want to ask questions. Some people have posted some questions already on the platform. So in order to get this done in a way that we would all follow, you use on the console, you can see how to raise your hand. I can see 2 hands up already from the chat. I see Mekebeb or something like that. So please unmute and ask your question one after the other. So
okay. My name is Makul and I'm from Ethiopia. I think this is a Ghanaian platform.
Right. So, please just raise your voice a little bit.
Okay. My question is 2 things. The first one is I tried on my phone. I think it's only work in Ghana. Yes, the platform work in Ghana. Yes. So I like the platform. So is your company or the one who delivered this service have a wish to expand to Ethiopia? So that's my question.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mekebib. So a quick clarification here. Darrow is a web portal, so you can access Darrow everywhere you are in the world. It's just the USSD that is currently connected to the network operators in Ghana. So even in Ethiopia, if let's assume you, Mekebi, you have access to connection to the network operators, we can put a code there for you, and then you can go through the whole process of putting out your post. For your SMS as well, it doesn't really matter which country you are in. So far as you have your contact addresses in your SMS group or you have it in your Excel, we have connection to all, a lot of countries. We have a lot of partners across the globe. You can send your SMSs to Ethiopia, to France, to London, to Zimbabwe, anywhere you want. Same with the email. So the only thing here that is currently country specific is the USSD. I hope I've been able to address.
Thank you very much. Mekebi?
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
I think it is clear. Yeah, it is clear, yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have Gilbert Ofosu. Please unmute and talk. So if Gilbert is not ready, then we can go to the next person is Stephen. Please unmute.
Hello, David.
Yeah.
Hello, David.
Yeah, Stephen.
Good. Thank you very much. May I know that without Darrow platform, is it possible to do this USSD thing? That is the first question.
Right.
And the other question is Deywuro an app that we ought to download and then use the USSD thing on it?
All right. So,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hello, David. I didn't get the second question.
So the question is first, can you create a USSD code without Darrow? Second, is Darrow an app that you can download and use?
Okay, so I'll take the second question and Stefan will take the first question about whether you can create your USSD outside Darrow. So just again, Darrow is a web portal. So once you type in Deywuro.com, it takes you straight to the page to be able to go through your process. It's also, what's the right, it's a self-sign-in service. So you create your account and then you have it, you just top up your account balance to be able to use all the menus that you have there. You can access it on your phone, on your laptop, whichever online device that you use, you can access Darrow on it. And Stefan, you can take the first question.
Yeah, so with the first one, yeah, it's possible to create a USSD without the Darrow platform. We have APIs that are open that can allow developers to do that. Our intention was to have simplified the whole process for you, so you don't have to have the hassle of just getting a technical person to do that for yourself. That has been our focus.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, there are companies who are doing USSDs already. They engage a third party, they engage a vast service provider. What we have done is to give you convenience and then speed to be able to have your USSD out there anytime without the company coming in.
And again, to further this, our focus is to also take advantage of this COVID-19 social distancing, where businesses want to ensure that they go digital. These businesses struggle in getting technical people to deploy their system. So we are saying that
please raise your voice a little bit.
So I'm saying that our intention has been to also look at how COVID-19 is impacting how businesses are being run. So we have people who have small shops and they want to collect their revenue. They want to look at their inventory. They want to look at how sales goes on, how they pay their salary and all that. All these automation can be done with a USSD. So we wanted to prevent the issue where you have to go and contact a technical person and you have to delay and all that. So within few clicks, we expect that you understand your flow. You just drag and drop, just do your clicks, and you can have your service running. You can look at your stock. You can look at how much revenue you have received. You can look at whether you're making profit or not profit. So that has been our intention, to focus on ensuring that you can do it yourself. So yes, to answer your question, we have APIs that are exposed that you can integrate in any platform that you have.
Great.
Maybe there's a follow-up question.
There's a follow-up question. Okay, Steven, please go ahead.
She mentioned that you top up your account. What does that mean? And again, does that mean that you pay for the services at Darrow?
Right. Yes, you would pay for the services. So Darrow is a value-added service platform. We have bundles for all the menu items you see there. We have SMS bundles that you can purchase. We have email bundles you can purchase. You have social media, USSD, all of them fall under a particular bundle. And these bundles end up being your balance. You would see that on the dashboard every time you log in, what your bundle is. So you can also pay for your bundle using the various mobile money networks. So you go to Darrow, you choose your mobile money option, you top up, and instantly your account is credited. If you are a bank person, we give you the bank details, you go to your bank, you make payment in it, and then you can have your balance. So every time you go to the dashboard, you will see your balance reflected there.
Great.
Okay.
Let's go to the next question from SOH.
Okay, I want to find out the financial commitment that a user would incur in case you want to use Darrow to create USSD. I think like the last person has asked, the financial aspect with how much maybe you as an individual will incur if you want to use Darrow to create a USSD number, maybe just for a survey.
Yeah, it's as low as 200 Ghana cedis for a monthly rental. So it's you pay per the number of codes you have. So assuming you want to do different kind of like surveys, you want a survey, you want a revenue collection code, you want a sales code, it's just 200 Ghana cedis for the code. You pay monthly.
That's monthly.
Yes, please. To all the networks, every month you would renew your code with a charge of 200 Ghana cedis.
Okay, thank you.
Right, let's look at the next person. Abraham Selby.
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Please, I joined the But I wanted to ask, let's say I have an e-commerce system. And is there a way that I can connect the USSD to my e-commerce platform? And how do I go about it? How I use the Darrow platform, or there is a way that I can connect it to my own database and my own service? That's what I want to know. And also, in terms of payment gateways, do I have to connect to the Deywuro payment gateway? I can choose my own payment gateways, which the transaction on the USSD can flow through. So that is my question. Thank you.
Okay.
Abraham, your line was a bit bad, but
Yeah,
I'll try to
bit
take the
difficult
business side of the question. If there are any technical things, Stefan would answer that. So as an e-commerce person, right, I know that sometimes you use SMSs to confirm when the person makes payments and when delivery has been made, or to broadcast to your audience new product updates and all that. What you can do, or what we offer you, is that once you're on Darrow, you can have the SMS side for your e-commerce, you can have the email, you can have your social media posts, you can then have your USSD as well for people to make payments for products and services on your e-commerce platform. We can give you API integrations to your e-commerce site to automate your SMSs, and since you put your USSD out there, anytime people want to make payments for a service, when they go to make payments and it's a USSD you want them to dial, they can go through the whole process, and you will see all this on the Darrow dashboard. You will see your total number of messages that went out. You will see the number of people that has purchased the service from you. And there are a lot of things that you can do with the Darrow from the API side and from the login part of it. Stefan, is there anything technical?
Yeah, so to add to that, you have your e-commerce. So let me assume your e-commerce is selling maybe water, oranges, and tomatoes. So that will be an assumption, right? So your e-commerce is going to provide the services online. What this USSD will do is that you are going to replicate the same thing on the US. So you go to the system and you do your clicks and you replicate your water, oranges, and apples there. It creates its own database. Now, what we would have to do in this case, because you already have a database and we have a database, it will have to sync. So what we'll do here, we'll just pass all those information that we get in our database, send it to you through an API, so you can also push it into your system. That is what we will do. So for that integration, when you've created all that on our platform, for you to have all those systems on your day, you just make a request for us to push all those parameters to you, then we will do that.
Abraham, I hope we've been able to answer your question.
Thank you very much for that. And I'm happy for the response.
Yeah, it's okay. So, Abraham, please put the rest of your questions in the chat room. We can read them out because the line is a bit bad.
Hello.
Yes, the next person is.
Hello.
Yes, please, Terrace.
Yeah, there's Robert.
Right. Please go ahead.
Hello, yes, this is Terrence. Good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
Just a quick one. I don't know if this question has been addressed. My connection has not been stable, so I couldn't listen through well. For institutions that are already running services on USSD and has the shortcode already, how feasible can we plug into your system so we have total control on how we develop the flows on the USSD, so that currently, there are existing content providers and vendors that already manage the USSD for us. So if you want to take a decision that as an institution want to manage our own existing shortcode, how do we plug into your service?
This is a very good question. Please, can we get some
I think you might have to take that.
So let me see if I understood your question. So you already have, and assuming you already have an existing system running, USSD running, and you want to, assuming you want to be able to use our platform to manage that. How do we do that? Okay, so
exactly. For example, we have a USSD code *800 *30#. So if we want to connect to this, what do we do?
Okay, so if you have *800 *30#, it's assumed that it has already been integrated with you already have the APIs that have been forwarded to your system. So what we'll do is that we will pick this same API and do a bit of customization. So within a day, we should be able to pass all those parameters to our system, and it will be unified. That is how we are going to go about it. So again, to repeat myself, so there's already an API being passed to your system. So we'll pick this same API and do a bit of customization onto this platform so that when you log in, it will unify all your systems for you.
Yeah, let me just come in and say that.
No, David, a question.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, please, is it a follow-up to this same one?
Yes, it's a
Yeah,
follow-up.
exactly. A quick one to what you said.
Ebenezer is trying to ask a question. I'm trying to find out what is a follow-up. Yeah.
Yeah, so David, with what the technical guy said, does it mean the example you gave, the *800* are they going to customize it on their platform that the traffic will be coming to their platform or to the other third-party platform? You should clarify that.
So for right now, my understanding is that you already have the existing *899*30
*800*30#.
Yes, please.
So those
please.
ones are hitting your platform already. So maybe a third party would have, because it's a sub code you have. So those ones would have already been hitting your server. And the reason why it's hitting your server is because it's passing the API to your server. What we would do is that you would forward all those ones from your server to this system. And now we will do the customization on your account on Darrow, so that when it hits your system, it forwards to the Darrow platform. Then we can manage it unilaterally.
Oh, interesting. Wow, that's great. That's great.
Right. Great.
So
Okay.
what I was just adding to what Stefan had mentioned was that this is like the basic for any user who comes in and does not require any extra stuff. But like I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, we do all our technology stuff in-house from scratch. So we are able to customize it and scale it to meet the individual need of the customer. Because you could come here and in as much as you like everything we are doing here, you would want something still tailored to you. It is better that the application changes to suit your need than for you to change to suit the application's need. So if you have extra things you would want us to do, we'll just take it off the basic and do the customization to suit you.
Great.
Of course.
Great.
Then
Next question, please. Oh, Makebi is back. Is Makebi back with another question, or we move to the next question?
Yes, I'm coming with another question.
Yes, my friend from Ethiopia.
Okay. My question is, in Ethiopia, there is only one network provider, and it is government-owned.
Yeah, raise your voice a little bit.
In Ethiopia, there is only one network provider, and it's not international network provider. It is a government-owned network provider, and it is like Ethio Telecom, like Ethiopian Telecommunications. So, and the second challenge to use your platform is I have to use the service. I have to pay in Ghana money. Yes. I don't know the money in Ghana. The currency I have to use is Ghana. So I don't know there is another international money. So
I think there will be a visa option, but let me allow them to respond.
You can pay other currency aside Ghana. We have some international clients. We have people from the Netherlands, from India, and they pay as they wouldn't pay via the mobile money options. They would pay to our various accounts with the currency that they are comfortable with. There is also the possibility for visa. So we will just, the visa integration will be part of the mobile payment. So you can pay through visa as well.
And the first limitation
okay.
Let me clarify.
From Ethiopia, just our interest is not on SMS and email and that of like social media and the purchase. Just our interest, from my point of view, our interest is from the side of USSD service.
Ah, USSD, okay.
Yes, that USSD service is the interest we have. The other service, that's not the question. I can pay international, so you can deliver it. But regarding USSD...
Your voice is gone. Your voice is gone.
Okay, now you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, we are interested in the USSD service because there is, in the near future, there might be a lockdown. So before that, it must be integrated to Ethio Telecom, our service provider, network provider, and Ethiopia is almost to 100 million and plus people. So and about from this there is more than 40 million people using mobile phone. Like so from them, most of them can use USSD because it doesn't necessarily need an internet.
Right. I think a customization can be done for that.
Yes, that's my
question. Conversation with local partners there to be able to integrate your local USSD into the system. I think we can take this conversation after this. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think like what you said, so Debbie tried to speak to that. So what we'll do is that we have not integrated to any network in Ethiopia right at the moment. We have not gotten there. We are in Nigeria, we are in Cote d'Ivoire, and some few countries that we have some partnership. But for Ethiopia, no, what we can do is an interesting conversation we can pick up and see how best we can partner in Ethiopia and connect, use the same system to connect to the local providers there, and it to work the same.
Okay. So, Makabi, can you send me your email or phone number on this chat privately, and then we can take it out from there?
Okay, I will send it now, and that will be my final question, I think. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Right.
So I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kwabena.
So what if a business wants to market to a new demographic? Does Darrow have a database that we can access in expanding the market? For instance, there's a business that has an existing demographic of older people, but we want to start attracting the millennials and young people. Does Darrow have database that they can access in order to do that marketing and reach that consumer base?
Yes, we have what we call the advert model. What the advert model is supposed to allow you to do is to select your demographics and then post your content to those specific demographics. The advert model menu you don't see on the menu tab right now, but it's going to be on the menu tab by Friday when we are going live. So once the database is there under the advert model, you select your demographic, female, age, etc., all those things, and you can do your engagement with those demographics. It will still feed into the dashboard, the main Darrow dashboard that I showed you earlier, or it could go into, if it was an email advert you did, you see it at the email reporting side as well.
Yeah, so what to add to what Deborah said, what we did was to mimic how Facebook works, right? What Facebook will do is that it picks the demographic and posts it on the page, on the respective page, using the recommender system. What we have done, instead of posting on a page, we now terminate it as SMS based on those selections that has been done. Then the message is sent to them. So that's the advert model.
Yeah. Let me also add here that I can't emphasize it enough. The AI team in the house, not using any third-party provider, has built our own pseudonymization and anonymization platform.
Please raise your voice a bit.
We have our pseudonymization and anonymization platform to be in tandem with the privacy policies globally. So if there are any uploads you are even doing for your database to enable you to your broadcast at any time, we don't have access to the information that are categorized as private or personal information. So you would only be able to do the audience, but you cannot see this data. You can have access to this data. You can just go ahead and do the broadcast. If it is you doing an upload, we also wouldn't have access to your data. It's just a demographic that everything is behind and you wouldn't have access to it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, so we got Calvin now.
Yeah, David, can you hear me, please? Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you. I want to find out, first of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be part of this. And do you have any provision for people who would want to go into white labeling. For instance, I want to have my own short code sales platform. Is there a way you can white label me such that it bears my name, but I pay you the white label fees without people knowing that I'm getting my services from Deywuro?
Yes, 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 yes. From the business point of view, yes, you have that opportunity. We have what we call our reseller model, right? And those are for people who use the application as their own, and then they sell it to their audiences. We don't come in here for at that side. We only become your technology provider, support you and ensure that your services are up all the time and your customers are happy. But to the customer, you are their provider and you are the only one they know. So yes, we can always have this conversation.
Great. This is good.
Thank you very much.
This is good. All right, next question from before that, there's a question on the chat room. Is a 200 monthly bundle for all the services on the platform or for only a specific service?
Okay, so the 200 is for the rental of the code, right? The code costs you 200 Ghana cedis to have it active to all the networks, MTN, Vodafone, Airtel, Tigo. That is the 200. When you come to the other services, there are bundles. You can pay as low as 30 Ghana cedis for 1,000 SMSs. It depends on the bundle you are looking to get. Those bundles are different. The 200 is just for the rental of the code.
Right. So I want to, please prepare for another 15 minutes to just do a wrap up so those who join late can actually get a full understanding of what we are discussing. So let's get Gilbert to speak. After that, we'll give you 15 minutes to go back again and take us through the beginning, and let's get the others who join late to have a benefit of how you even create a USSD code.
Yeah, thank you very much, boss. My question is in three folds. Hey. The first one goes to education side. How will this help we the educators, especially with managing school reports and others? And then two, I have a fellow who normally contacts me for SMS alerts for his customers about a mini Susun or savings and loan system. And then the third one, the difference between this one and then that of the telcos one, because you don't know MTN or Tigo and other telcos, they have their main USSD registration and even bulk SMS system. So what's the difference or discrepancy? Thank you.
Sorry, Calvin, can you take the second question again? It wasn't too clear at my end.
Yeah, I said my second question is about a fellow or a brother who is having savings and loan company, local one within my area. And he told me he wants an SMS alert system that can notify them, being it clients, about any time they deposit money into their account or something like that, or any transaction that goes on. Mm-hmm. So I'll find out as to Npontu how you can get or go along with that service.
Right. So I'll take the second question first. And we SMS providers to a lot of the banks and financial institutions in the country. When you have a Darrow account, there are two options for your use. You can log into Darrow to upload your contacts and send messages like what we call a bulk broadcast to those contacts. Now, if you have like a system, a platform that you want to send automated messages to, like you have asked for, we give what we call the API to your IT team, or we can help you integrate that API to your platform. Just like when you go deposit the money in your account and you get an SMS notification, or if someone does a withdrawal from your account, you get an SMS notification. It is all moving on this API channel. So once we do the integration to your colleague's platform, anytime someone is doing a deposit onto their Susu account or whatever activity is going on, the people would get their alerts. You can even automate your birthday messages that goes out to your customers, or any information that you want to go out. So yes, we are able to do that for you. The first question about the use cases for the educational sector. You can use Darrow to engage the parent of your wards, right? They can pay school fees through the USSD. You can create a school fees model flow on your USSD, and parents can go there and pay their fees from it. You can even create your various classes or ward list, or I don't know what your school might call it, and post you can put in a special identifier for every parent's child. So if I go to the USSD and I put in the special identifier, I can see my ward's grades for that day. There are so many things you can do depending on the processes there. So the fees is one, comment about your children, getting their grades and all that is part. You can also use the SMSs to inform the parents, or the emails to inform the parents about what is going on with their wards, right? We can sit down and understand what your processes are at the school and suggest various ways for you to optimize your services with Darrow.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Gilbert.
Right. So this is the time again for us to do a recap.
Okay.
Let me see. I don't think we have any more questions. Oh, 2 more hands up. Okay, first one. Okay, Gilbert, there's another Gilbert. Gilbert Mombaza, my friend. Please. Gilbert, please ask your question. Gilbert?
Hello?
Right. Yes, Gilbert.
Hello, David.
Yes, Gilbert.
Please, can you hear me now?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. My question is, we have, for example, the MTN short code, *1714, for the merchants. Okay, is it possible without renting another short code, but rather take it that you own a merchant line? You want transactions that are sent to this merchant to be captured on the Darrow platform for analysis purposes. So anytime, for example, you receive a payment on your merchant line, you want it to be integrated to a Darrow platform so that you can analyze and probably customize it. If, for example, you are using it for receiving school fees in a school, you want to see the name of the student, the parent, the time they made the payment, and all such details. Is it possible we can do this without renting another USSD code on the Darrow platform, but rather linking it to the existing short code that we have with the mobile opcos? Thank you.
Hello, Gilbert. Yeah, so for this, Deywuro has a plugin which is a mobile app version. What it does is that what it does is when you have the mobile app logged in, immediately you click on maybe, let's say, a button, it runs the USSD behind the button and picks all the information there and it runs it. But that is a mobile app version, because the network, the code belongs to the network operator. So we don't have that integration. But we're able to run on top of that integration using another mobile app, where when you dial that, it runs behind the scene, where it does automatic USSD calls behind the scene, picks the information, but you might have to have your PIN or your merchant ID for that to have. That's a separate discussion for that. That is a possibility that we can do. We need a little customization to serve that purpose.
Okay.
Great. So, okay, Gilbert, you want a follow-up question? Okay, fine.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have one here on the chat. Can we see sentiments which were classified as bad or neutral by the AI engine?
Yes, you can see those sentiments. Let me just pull out a sentiment for you. Just a second, please.
Right. So once you do that, next week, Wednesday, we'll be having Dr. Fred McBaganlore, the president of Academic City College, and also the board chair of Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana, He'll be taking us through the ventilator that he and his team recently have actually invented, a low-cost ventilator. So you'll be taking us through the process, what they've done so far, and at least some information for us to see. Maybe, who knows, somebody else can also take up the challenge. Okay, Deborah, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Please
sorry,
go ahead.
I'm just having a little glitch with my screen.
No problem at all. We're still having people joining. We've done 1 hour and now people are joining. Wow. I know the internet is not stable today, so a lot of people are dropping off.
Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, your screen is showing.
Oh, that's this. I think it's showing the wrong thing. Please give me just a second. I think it's being slow a bit too.
Yeah, well, we can see the stars now.
Yeah, yes. So this is an example of this, the sentiments that have come up. I mentioned you can have it in positive and negative and all that. What it does, it also gives you a link to the people who are making the comments. So if you want to engage the people who are making the comments, assuming there are problems that you want to address immediately, you can click on their handle and then chat with them and confirm what their issues are. You can do all that. You can do all these are just examples of the sentiments that come here. What we've tried to do is you have a lot of following. You don't want to go through all of them to be able to see what somebody's saying, whether it's negative or it's positive. So we categorize it for you, and then you can just focus on the negatives and leave the positives out if at that time that's not of interest to you.
And as a follow-up question here, remember that with what the sentiment does is that it does a prediction. If the comment, it's not every time that the comment would be correct, might interpret it differently. So we still find a way of fine-tuning our algorithms to ensure that it is 100% correct. But for this test platform, that's where we have uploaded, allows you to group in those sentiments.
Okay, let's do the recap now so that we can all, those who join late can also have a benefit of what we've been doing.
Okay, so for the benefit of those who joined late, we spoke about our dynamic USSD model on the Darrow platform. We mentioned that Darrow is a multifaceted value-added service platform where you can do your SMS engagement, email engagement, social media engagement. And what we have done unique to other platforms is that we have given you an opportunity to create your own code, create your own flow on the code, and just put it out there on your various engagement platform. This is where you would go to create your code. You have your welcome message, which is like the title of the USSD service you want to run. We also generate a code for you, but we are also going to give you the opportunity to select your own code, just like you have with emails when you're creating a user ID. If the code you have selected is already in use, you might have to fall onto the suggested codes that we have given you. We have your USSD service type. You can select a survey, you can do a vote, you can collect data, you can collect revenue. For the purpose of the test, we used a survey. If you were a church, you can do all your offertory and collections under the USSD survey. So we selected a survey and we gave our own description of it. And we put the description of the survey. You just go to proceed. The phone shows you or gives you an impression of how the USSD is going to appear on your phone. You can create whatever question you are looking for. Because it's a survey, you might want to do multiple type questions so people can respond yes or no to it. You can also ask people to include their comments, their suggestions, everything you are looking for, the same thing you would have given to a value-added service provider to do for you. This time you can come to Darrow and do it yourself. Once you are done going through the flow and you publish your USSD or you click done, It means the code is active and your audience list can have access to the code and use it. You can now use the various engagement platforms that you have on Darrow to communicate your code to your audience. You can go to our social media page, select your various social media handle, post directly to your audience and have them engage in it. What we did extra was to integrate our AI engine into the platform. So if you put it on your social media pages, people can give their comments, their likes, and you will be able to tell the feelings of these people towards your brand and your audience. Currently, the test code that Deywuro was doing for the purpose of the sum up has been published, so it's still live. For those who just joined, they can dial the highlighted code to have an experience of it. You can now, so let's assume this is it. You would have just gone to the social media, gone to SMS, gone to email, and put it out there for your audience to use. This is the summary of what I have presented from beginning to the end. The questions that have come up so far when we started the presentation had to do with people asking if Darrow is accessible outside Ghana. Yes, Darrow is an online platform, so all you need is internet. You can use the SMS, the email, the social media post wherever you are. The only thing right now is that the USSD we are using is tied to the network providers in Ghana. So if you are outside Ghana and you want to use the USSD side, we would have to have an engagement with the network providers in your country. If you have a code, we can use that code to give you that access. As you can see, some people have engaged on the USSD that Deywuro just put up there, and you can see the total number of responses that have come through. Someone also asked whether the service could be customized further to suit their specific need. Yes, it can. We are a technology provider. We build all our applications in-house. It means that we offer you the convenience of scaling and customization. If the basic we have on Darrow does not serve your purpose or your interest, we will just have to understand what you are looking for, and we can customize it to further suit your interests. So that can also be done. Someone asked about other sectors. There are various use cases for various sectors. Once we understand where you are coming from, we can help you optimize your service and your product offering to your customers using Darrow. Like we say when we mention Darrow, just go ahead and push it and allow us to do the rest. Thank you, David.
Thank you very, very much. Any more questions?
Hello, David. Hello, David.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
My question is, with respect to the customization, in the health sector, facilities are supposed to be sending reports to their various head of departments every month. I want to ask if with this USSD, you can develop something for us so that the personnel will sit in their facilities, go through it, and maybe you feed the system with a soft copy of the report formats. Then they enter the figures and send it to the head office without going through the stress of traveling to those head offices in the various regions.
Yes, they can do that, but in general has its own limitation in terms of session timeout, right? So if it's going to be a long report, your users might get be a bit tired having to refresh again to continue. What we can do is have a conversation to see how we can customize the service for you. At this point, I don't have an idea of the type of reports we will be using. So we would be able to customize the service for you depending on what you're looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have, who is also, Stephen just asked his question. So as a Kwanzaa, is it the same as a Kwanzaa, no? Isaac, please ask your question. Isaac? unmute, please.
Okay. Good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. David.
Who is speaking, please?
Isaac Kwanzaa.
Who is speaking, please?
Isaac Kwanzaa.
Isaac, same Isaac.
Yeah.
All right,
Facebook.
go ahead.
All right. So
Yes, go ahead.
I wanted to ask if I was late, so I don't know if it has been asked already. For developers, let's say I want to integrate it into my own application on the API level. Is there anything like that?
Yes, please. Yes, you can do an integration with any existing application. We would provide you with the API and offer you assistance as well if need be.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Let's see who is also on the line to talk. Yeah, that's Isaac. So fine. Right. Okay, so we are wrapping up now. There's a question here. So if I want to use USSD for my online sales payment and e-commerce, what will be the pricing as general?
It's the same cost. It's still going to be 200 Ghana cedis every month to rent the code.
Right. Okay. Okay, good. Please, can you share some contact details that anybody wants to get in touch? Can you share on the screen so that
yes,
we
you can reach us at marketing@npontu.com.
Yeah, please, can you show it on the screen? Can you show it somewhere so people can get, at least it's better to be able to see it and maybe capture it with the phone or something.
Okay. We'll share it on the image on the phone, but for now, whilst we pull that up, you can contact us at 055 654 1525.
Okay. 055
654 1525.
055 654
1525.
Let me get the 055 654 1525.
It's on the screen.
1525. Okay, so the screen now.
Yeah.
Let's see what's on the screen. So 055 654 1525. I'm sending it to everybody. Or 02433 75520. And you can also contact them through marketing at Npontu. Okay, so for those who join us late, let me just do this announcement again before we go. Next week, Wednesday, we'll be having another webinar. This time it will be on the new low-cost ventilator developed by Dr. Fred McBagalore and his team from Academic City College. He will be here to take us through the process and some of the things that they've been able to work on. I think it will also be another interesting webinar. We look forward to it. Same time next week, Wednesday. So also about the Institute of ICT Professionals, we are a professional association in Ghana. In the technology field, we are involved in so many things. And one of